lifelong condition that affects how a person communicates with and relates to other people. It also affects how a person makes sense of the world around them. The three main areas of difficulty, which all people with autism share, are known as the triad of impairments. These are difficulties with social communication, problems using and understanding verbal and non-verbal language such as gestures, facial expressions and tone of voice. Social interaction, problems in recognising and understanding other people's feelings and managing their own. Social imagination, problems in understanding and predicting other people's intentions and behaviour, and imagining other situations outside their own routine. Many people with autism experience some form of sensory sensitivity or undersensitivity, e.g. to sounds, touch, tastes, smell, light or colours. People with autism often prefer to have a fixed routine and can find change incredibly difficult to deal with. Many people with autism also have other conditions, such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, a learning disability, or dyspraxia. Autism is known as a spectrum condition because of the range and difference of difficulties that affect people. It is also known as ASD, Autistic Spectrum Disorder. It is often called a hidden disability due to its lack of physical signs. For example, Asperger's syndrome is a form of disability, and people with Asperger's often have fewer problems with speaking than others on the spectrum. They do still have significant difficulties with communication, and these can be masked by their ability to speak fluently. They are often of average or above average intelligence. It is estimated that 1 in 100 people are on the spectrum, around 500,000 in the UK, and their needs have been recognised by the recent autism strategy, Fulfilling and Rewarding Lives, which puts greater responsibilities on local authorities to meet their needs. Who else is there to help? There are many support organisations across the country, but one, working for many years in South East London, is Burgess Autistic Trust.
We provide a wide range of support services for children, young people and adults with ASD. We also support families and carers by helping them to understand the condition and develop strategies for helping their loved ones. We run training courses and conferences to help educate professionals and the wider public. We've recently changed our name from Bromley to Burgess Autistic Trust, and we are often called BAT or BAT depending on how people choose to say it. We currently provide support to around 1,500 people, which is amazing if you think we started building a care home for 5 people back in 1981. This is our 30th anniversary this year, and we're celebrating our many successes and also looking forward to the future. These are very challenging times for the voluntary sector, and the autism strategy recognises the needs of people with ASD living in the community. We do our utmost through our outreach and personal support services to meet those needs. Mainly through contracts for services, but we also raise a substantial amount through donations and sponsorship, also through grant funds for specific projects. We're very grateful for all our funding as it helps us to provide essential services to people who might otherwise be isolated and on their own. We monitor quality in our services by agreeing a service specification for all of our projects and outcomes for individuals or beneficiaries. We report against those on an agreed basis, whether quarterly, 6 monthly or once a year. We're registered with the Care Quality Commission, and it's very important to us that our services are tailored to the needs of the individuals using that service, and we make sure that our plans reflect that. That's special because we are person-centred, caring and have a strong track record. We have a loyal staff who use their creativity and skills to help people day to day. We are genuinely interested in the people we are working with, and we do our utmost to help them. We also are glad to have good relationships with partners and professionals and pull together to offer the best services that we can.
I enjoy the club mix with other people.
When I first started, I was nervous, but when I keep coming to this youth club, I got used to it and made new friends.
Been lots of trips like Duck Tour, London Eye, been out to meals.
We provide information and support to people with an ASD and their parents and carers. Most of these people have a diagnosis of ASD, but some do not, so we signpost them to the right services to gain this. We also help people with benefits, housing applications and other day-to-day situations that people may find difficult. We run several social clubs for people with an ASD to encourage positive interaction in a safe environment. I tend to work with people at the higher functioning end of the spectrum. We are often contacted about problems relating to communication difficulties in social situations. Often people with high functioning autism present very well and are very articulate. This means that often they do not meet the criteria for services. Part of my job is to help them access different forms of support. It is important to train professionals about autism, particularly because it is a hidden disability. The club gives service users a sense of belonging and a sense of community and support. It is wonderful to see people join us and develop their skills and confidence with each meeting they attend. The members are extremely understanding towards each other. If one member of the club is feeling down or upset, the other members really pull together and support each other. This is lovely to see, and it is a great achievement for many members, particularly because empathy and sympathy is something that many people with an ASD can find difficult. Everyone has lots of fun at all the social clubs, and this includes the staff and volunteers.
Well, we have two sons, one with a diagnosis of Asperger's and the other with a diagnosis of regressive autism. I actually contacted BAT pre-diagnosis for my older son, and family support attended his diagnosis meeting with us, which was just over 4 years ago, and it was very helpful to have that support and a great help to us at such an upsetting time. It was very worrying, and it was confusing for us to try and understand what the diagnosis meant. BAT has helped us take it step by step to understand this diagnosis. We need support in dealing with schools. For example, BAT Family Support have attended school meetings with us. We need advice on strategies for some of the issues that we need to deal with. For example, communication difficulties, dealing with anxieties. My son has a dog phobia, for example. BAT is there to help us understand the problem and, if necessary, fight for the best support for our children. We're really very grateful for their support. It has been a real lifeline for us as a family. In terms of the main areas of help that we have personally benefited from, they are firstly the courses which we have attended, which have been very informative to us as parents, and the courses have also helped the extended family too. For example, my parents have attended and learnt a lot from the Family of Information Day. Secondly, we've had great help from Michelle, who devises the visual supports to help our children. She takes a very personalised approach in really understanding the individual child, and her support has been invaluable. Finally, we've also benefited greatly from meeting other families in a similar position and sharing our information together. BAT brings families such as ours together, and then we can support each other in order to be able to cope with dealing with the different issues that we face, which are very challenging at times, as autism really is a hidden disability. Well, we are members of BAT and we are involved in the parent events team, and we help with fundraising. We arrange quiz nights, we help out at the annual Summer Fun Day. My husband has done runs. He did the Paris Marathon, the Windsor Half Marathon for BAT, and raises funds this way. We really are very happy to be able to pay back the support that we have received from BAT, and also we're very happy to help others going through a similar experience to ourselves. And we know that there are many other families who feel the same way as us.
Well, it can pose a number of difficulties and challenges in a variety of ways, the main one being the different way you communicate and interact with others. If people don't quite understand you, or you don't understand them, or you can't read their intentions or interpret them, it can lead to awkward situations. I remember once at my place of work seeing someone in for an interview and not being quite sure whether they were going to go straight in or we were going to sit them down first, and I kind of left them sort of in limbo, as it were, and that was a problem. I felt guilty about that. I felt guilty that I'd done the wrong thing. The other major difficulty is how you cope with changing situations and situations that are unexpected. You need to try and make everything the same in your life, but that obviously isn't how life works. You have new situations, new people that you're exposed to day by day. Even coming here today, I had delays on the journey here. I was worried about being late. I was worried about making everybody else late and displeasing them. So that is an example of how a very small thing can lead to a greater problem, and can lead to how you deal with stress and pressure. Really difficult situations that can be caused by even the smallest and most innocuous thing can make you feel very anxious and upset and unbalanced. And in fact, there's almost like a safety valve in your brain that at the worst point tells you to just get out of the situation as quickly as you can, and that takes a lot of time to brush off those sort of negative things, rather more than it does to other people who don't have Asperger's syndrome. The other problem it can create is you're naturally left with a sense of introversion, because it's hard for you to interact with other people and make friends with others, and so it's very easy to become withdrawn, and that can lead to loneliness and depression as well. There have been a number of bank holidays recently, very long bank holidays, which I don't particularly enjoy, because there are days in which you do have little contact with people and very little to do, and so you struggle to find ways to occupy yourself and ways just to prevent yourself getting bored and depressed. So those are a few examples of the main ways that Asperger's syndrome affects me. But fortunately, with the support I've had from organisations like BAT, I've been able to minimise those effects as much as I can.